won in a shootout to the New York Rangers. Welcome into Post Game Live, presented by Curado Insurance. Al Morgani, Ashlyn Sullivan here with you. The Rangers come roaring back in this game. The Flyers have an excellent second period, score four goals in that game, and all we got to say is that third period, just keep the lead that you had. Rangers come all the way back, and once again, really disappointing. When shootouts were something the Flyers were getting so talented at, so successful this season, it's been turning the other way lately. Yeah, it was the game we thought we were going to have a celebration, a kid making a great introduction into the NHL, and it turns on them like this. Again, a game that they probably could have, I mean, that's 2 in a row now. You probably should have bagged a couple of points in, and you didn't. So should have been a real celebratory day, and I think you leave with a pretty bad feeling out in New York. Right, and I'm sure Rick Tocchet is going to say, like in Buffalo, not a complete game. You put one great period together, and you can't have it stay consistent. And now it's time for our game changer, brought to you by Sloan Automotive. How the Rangers got back in this game, Zibanejad. We know how dangerous he is, especially against the Flyers. A big opportunity on the power play here, and he scores. Yeah, he does. I don't like this goal. I know that every save is a miracle sometimes if you look at it that way, but that to me, and you can see the body motion right there, that's a goal. To me, you just got to stop this shot. I mean, I know Zibanejad kills you all the time, but this one goes right through the goaltender, Ersson, and that's an absolute kill. The whole sequence was a killer. Ristolainen, hits a teammate. You lose a guy in overtime in the late game situation, so it's pretty. And then he takes the penalty, so it's a pretty nasty situation there. Frustrating loss for the Flyers, even though they do get that overtime point. You want to in regulation, as it's time now goes back to Madison Square Garden. Time for the Corolla crossover, brought to you by Toyota. Brian Boucher here with us now. Bouch, we talked about it in Buffalo and now again here this afternoon. You have great periods, but having trouble putting a complete game together here this afternoon.
Yeah, for the Flyers, it's still a learning process. A team that is trying to get to the next level, and these moments where you have leads, how you manage games in situations like that, it's still a work in progress for this club. I mean, the chunks of this game look very good, and then they have moments where they just simply, in a lot of ways, gift the opposition opportunities, and it's really unfortunate. But the silver lining is that they get a point out of it, but you can't help but be disappointed over the fact that the Flyers had this game in control and unfortunately coughed up the extra point. And Boucher, I think to me the most distressing thing is I was ready to talk about a kid playing his first NHL game. I'll tell you, not only didn't look out of place, looked like one of the better players on the ice throughout the afternoon. Yeah, it's hard not to think that this guy is a full-time NHLer from what I saw today. You want to look for reasons to why he doesn't belong, but I got to be honest with you. I mean, I don't care about his size, considering his tenacity. It was there, on full display, and then the ability to make plays under pressure. All of it, to me, showed that this guy is an NHL player. Now, he's playing on adrenaline this afternoon, no doubt. Does it continue? We will see. But the first impression, very, very, very good for Denver Barkey.
Promising stuff from Denver Barkey, his NHL debut at Madison Square Garden. Bouch, thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon next week. Get home safe. And now we're going to highlight those overtime chances for the Flyers, a chance to put this game away. There's a couple of them. And how about 2 power plays in overtime where the power play was getting a little bit better to get opportunities like this and not cash? Brutal. Yeah, this is a lot of weird stuff in this game late. And as you mentioned, power play, full power play coming into the overtime here. Now, mind you, Shesterkin's in goal. There you see Kuz in front of the net. It's about the only way you're going to beat him at this point. Konechny had several good opportunities here because of his positioning on this. So the Flyers moved it around, got opportunities, moved it around in their diamond right there. There you see Zegras come in. So it's goaltending. Very good for the Rangers in the overtime here, but to have an opportunity on the power play again in the overtime, and there you see goaltender Shesterkin does the splits right there. So although they played well there, it should have never got to the point where you're out goaltended at the end of the game there like that, because these are the 2 points you should have had out in New York. Absolutely, especially in regulation and after that second period where you were so successful, 4 goals in that second period. And even when you look at the shootouts, this is at one point you were really excited to watch this, and Trevor Zegras was a given, and Travis Konechny, and even Sam Ersson at one point perfect in shootouts. Now the Flyers lose their last 3 shootouts. And you're like, what changed here? Yeah, all of a sudden it's gone from bright lights to the dark side of the moon here on the shootouts. And it's a killer because Ersson, as you mentioned, was like one of the best in the league to come in and shut things down. Couldn't do it. And the Flyers shooter Zegras,
I guess there's video. When you come in, you kind of study some of the stuff there. I know a couple of goaltenders just kind of froze on him, and he missed his shot. But in this situation, Shesterkin just was too much for them to beat.
Yes, and we'll show those highlights right now as you see Trevor Zegras, a guy that is always first on the shootouts, and you always think this is a given, not so fast.
Yeah, especially with those hands to move like that. And there you see he's making sure to go follow it upstairs into the attic because he ain't going to let it go through. And then this is TK has to absolutely score. Shesterkin comes out like he's going to poke check, doesn't, keeps his position, manages to get the win right there. And this guy's the reason that the Rangers will manage to stay in the game and then win the game.
Yeah, he was so patient and one of the best goaltenders in the conversation, always, and showcased it this afternoon at Madison Square Garden as we go back to New York to hear from Owen Tippett in the Flyers locker room.
It seemed like there was no nerves from him even. I mean, the guy started the game, had a chance on his second shift.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. It's most important as a young guy. He's probably got a lot going on. I know it's a whirlwind from when you kind of get called up to the actual game time. So, I think if anyone in here can kind of take a little bit off his shoulders and let him play as free as he can, it's going to benefit all of us.
What's been the issue in the third period lately?
Yeah, I think we just can't sit back as much as we do. We put ourselves in great spots, and obviously we play a certain way to get there, and I think we just have to kind of continue playing that way and not worry about kind of sitting back.
How do you go ahead, Jordan.
I was going to say, how do you kind of view this loss? You guys get a point, I get that, but the Bromley, I think, has to stay a little bit.
Yeah, Metro Division matchup. You obviously want to get as many points as you can and not give any up, but like you said, it's 1 point, and we'd like to have 2, but just things to work on.
Thanks, Owen.
We are back with our electrifying moment brought to you by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers. Rodrigo Alves makes it 4-2 Flyers in the second period. At this point, you're feeling pretty good about yourself, Al. Yeah,
especially since the Rangers are on a power play, so you got a shorty here. Pretty good, big mistake by the Rangers. So there were giveaways on either side here. This is a horrible, horrible turnover. So why not take advantage of it? Sanheim coming roaring in and then makes a nice backhand pass. Alves handles it right at the crease. About the only way you're going to beat that goaltender today. Here's that look. See that look over? And then nice move right there. Alves doesn't lose it right there through the goaltender. Take it for a shorty that, and all things are looking really sweet at that point.
Yes, they are, especially for Denver Barkey, his NHL debut this afternoon at Madison Square Garden. He is our GMC Performance Player of this game. You cannot ask for much better than this, and I have a feeling he won't be going down anytime soon.
No, man, he played well. Not just the fact that they're assists. These are primary assists, and they're won with battles against the board. And this one here is a really nice one. See him take that little peek, then that backhand pass, and he sees somebody in soft open ice right there to make the play. And they're going to see right there, come in, force it at the net, so goes crashing in. But he's got every aspect of the game on display here. As Bruce mentioned, a lot of adrenaline going in with it. But that's a guy you can tell the instincts that he has, where to go, looking up to see maybe it'll change on the replay that I got the goal.
Denver Barkey, excellent stuff as we go back to Madison Square Garden to hear from the rookie in the locker room.
How'd you feel? You feel like you had an impact tonight?
Yeah, I was happy with the game, obviously, not with the outcome, but I was just looking, get out there and start to get comfortable. So, happy with the thought I played, but want to win.
How did you find out about the call?
I was actually tossing and turning in bed yesterday, getting ready for a game in Lehigh. I was trying to take my pregame nap, couldn't fall asleep, and I rolled over and checked the time on my phone and saw a few missed calls from Danny and a text saying, call me back ASAP, so kind of clicked in there, but super cool moment.
What's been working for you down in Lehigh Valley? You always said that you've been one of the more consistent players down there. Do you feel like it's been nightly how you're having an impact down there?
Yeah, I think the whole jump to pro, you have to kind of change your day-to-day life, and it's a lot different than junior. It's your job now, and you got to look after yourself, your body, your game. It's on you to perform every night, every practice. So, trying to be a guy that shows up every day, ready to work, prepared, and then I think translate over to my game and on the ice.
We've talked a lot with the guys about how maybe easier it is to get the call up when you play the similar systems in Lehigh Valley. How did you feel with the system work?
Yeah, it's very similar. So it wasn't a big transition, and it wasn't too much to take in today. And the guys were great with me and helping me out as the game went on with little things as well.
Denver, were you got any family here for the game?
Yeah, I got my mom, my dad, and my brother. They got in at like 3 a.m. last night. I think there was a bunch of Toronto snow, and their flight got delayed, but thankfully they're here.
We saw your former London Knights teammate Will Nickel post an Instagram story.
Oh,
Some of the
gosh.
guys were watching your debut.
Yeah.
They've been a support system for you still since you've made the transition to pro.
Those guys have been everything. I mean, played with them for the last couple of years in London, and we won a championship together. So it's a brotherhood there. And when I got that call, I was trying to let all those guys know. I was fortunate enough to let a lot of them know, and they're always there to support me, and they're always rooting for me.
What was it like making your NHL debut at Madison Square Garden?
Couldn't get any more real. I was talking to my parents last night about it. It's just, NHL debut is a big deal as it is, and to play it in Madison Square Garden, pretty fortunate, and, an eye-opening experience, something I'll never forget.
Not everybody gets 2 points in their debut. I mean, you feel good to get that out of the way right away.
Yeah, I think that helps a bit with confidence and, whatnot. But like I said, I think I just want to win. That's kind of always been my thing. I like winning, so not happy with the outcome tonight.
We are back with the thrill of the game, brought to you by Universal Theme Parks, the exhibition at the Franklin Institute, and something you can always count on Nick Delorier for us to make it a little spicy out there.
That's a better exhibition for me, anyway. Northman just wakes up, I mentioned earlier, like he shaved with a nail gun because this just kept going, just jackhammering away. He had no idea that was Delorier coming at him because otherwise he would have just sunk right into the ice.
Yeah.
No point to it.
Rude awakening there for the Rangers as they do beat the Flyers in a shootout. Now let's go back to Madison Square Garden and hear from Rick Tocchet.
It's on Devin Barkey's NHL debut.
Great. The guy's probably won, I think he won a lot of battles tonight. He's a good player. I like him a lot.
Third periods have been a bit of a struggle lately. Has there been a common thread there in those? Or?
Well, we're starting to learn how to win. This group's going to have to learn. But they're working hard. I mean, we had 4-2. We had a couple opportunities we had to score, and then you leave it for chance, right? Penalty. We're leaving, you can't take your foot off a wounded snake, right? And I just felt, we did, right? And we had chances at the end, 4-3. We have some guys here that got to help us, got to score there. We too slow with the 4-3. I thought that we were moving the puck. I don't know if it was we just got to learn how to handle pressure. It's just something we knew at the beginning we have to start to do, but take the point when we thought we should have two.
Is the puck over the glass by Ristolainen, is that some about handling pressure? It seems like he's in the defensive and trying to make a play.
I don't know. I mean, I mean, you always tell the D, keep the puck close to the boards, and you fire it off the boards. But I got to look at it again.
What's the message to Denver? Does he have a real chance to stick around and make an impact?
Well, the way he played tonight, the way he competes, yeah, I'm going to fight for him. I mean, this guy's listen, he's a young kid too. You want to make sure that he has enough reps where he's going to be. But I saw enough tonight, and that's a short sample size, that he's a good little player.
Do you factor in the environment at all that he played at Madison Square Garden? And it's to do that, it's pretty impressive.
Well, he won a Memorial. He won, right? He's been in pressure situations for us, so I think he can handle it.
Yeah.